In this video, I'll show you how to explore datasets in MSD-LIVE using Jupyter notebooks. This is the end-user experience, what researchers see when they want to interactively work with a dataset that has file exploration enabled. When browsing datasets in MSD-LIVE, look for the Explore the Data link on the Datasets landing page. This link appears when the dataset owner has enabled file exploration. If you don't see this link, it means interactive exploration hasn't been enabled for that particular dataset. I'll click the Explore the Data link to launch the Jupyter environment. This opens MSD-LIVE's cloud-based notebook environment where the dataset files are already mounted and ready to use. After logging in with my MSD-LIVE credentials, the environment loads with everything I need to start exploring the data. If the dataset author has provided pre-packaged code, I'll automatically see a README file that explains how to use the notebooks they've created. This is incredibly helpful because it gives me a guided starting point for exploring the data. The README typically includes information about what the dataset contains, what notebooks are available, and how to get started with common analysis tasks. I can navigate to the notebooks the author has provided. These might include data overview notebooks that show the structure of the dataset, visualization examples, or analysis templates. These notebooks are great starting points because they're written by someone who knows the data intimately and can show me the most effective ways to work with it. If no prepackaged code is available, or if I want to do my own custom analysis, I can create a new notebook. The dataset files are mounted in the environment, so I can immediately start loading and analyzing the data. I have access to the full Jupyter environment, which means I can write Python, R, or Julia code depending on what kernel was configured for this dataset. One of the powerful features of this environment is that I can install external packages directly from within a notebook cell. I don't need to leave the notebook or set up a local environment. For example, if I need a specific visualization library, I can install it right here in the notebook. The dataset files are accessible through standard file paths in my notebooks. I can load data, create visualizations, run analyses, and even subset the data for download if that's what I need for my research. This interactive approach lets me understand the data before committing to downloading large files, and I can quickly test whether this dataset meets my research needs. Any notebooks I create or modify are saved in my workspace. I have two great options for what to do with my work next. First, I can download them if I want to continue working locally or share them with collaborators. This makes it easy to document my exploration process and share findings with others. But there's an even more powerful option. I can contribute my work back to the datasets repository for all future users to benefit from. I can use the Pull Request button to share these improvements with the dataset author. This creates a collaborative ecosystem where each user's discoveries and improvements enhance the exploration experience for everyone who works with this data. Let me show you how this works. Say I've created a useful visualization or found a more efficient way to analyze this data. I can contribute that back to help other researchers. First, I select the notebooks I want to contribute back in my environment. Next, I click the Pull Request button when I'm ready to share my work. Then I add a description of my changes, explaining what I've improved or added and why it would be helpful to other users. Finally, I submit the pull request for review by the dataset author. The dataset author can review my contribution and decide whether to merge it into the main repository. Once merged, my enhancements become available to all future users who explore the dataset. This creates a really powerful collaborative ecosystem where each user's improvements benefit the entire research community working with this data.